Hi everybody, Matt here from Matt Likes Comics. Today I decided to wear the shirt of my buddy Big Nasty Comics. It's very comfortable. Same with the Chonko shirt, they're very comfortable. I'm curious if they had them made at the same place. They're really, really awesome. I'm going to get t-shirts made real soon. And once I do, I'll be making distributions. Now, to today's video. I did a video not too long ago where I pulled out a whole bunch of books from the DC Comics Presents and did the whatever happened to, and I basically just showed covers and named characters. That was pretty cool. So I decided to do something in that vein. Only I'm doing something a little different. What I did was I took the Key Collector comic app and I pulled out every Action Comics from Action Comics 400 to the end of the Action Comics Weekly because I knew that would be a lot of books. I've pulled out every one that Key Collector says is a key and put them in this big pile of books here. And I thought that I would show the covers, mention why they're keys, and leave it up to you to decide if you want to get them or not. Because honestly, I love these books. I love Action Comics. It's my favorite comic book of all time. I love the run. I love the fact it's an anthology. I prefer anthology books to single character books, just like I prefer group books as well. I like to see lots of characters and action. I'm as much as I like seeing character development, and if you see my my video about characters, you'll see why I do like the development. But you can spread it out as long as it's constantly moving. If and But however, that's not the topic of this video. Before I get off on a tangent, I'm going to stop myself. I'd like to keep this video under 20 minutes if I can. So let us begin simply with issue 400, where it says, "My son, is he man or beast?" I think that the half man, half beast kind of looks a little like Alfred E. Newman, but I might be nuts that way. This is a key because it's just an anniversary issue. It was the first book that he reached 400. Um, Maybe not. Actually, Detective may have hit 400 before this. I'm not sure. I'd have to check the dates. See, Action overtook Detective when there was a period where Action Comics was 12 issues a year and Detective Comics was 12 issues a year. But then Detective Comics went down to an eight period during the 70s. So yes, at this point, I think that Detective was first. Went down to 8 times a month and then bi-monthly. And then that was the period when the Batman family came out. So yes, I would say it's definitely second. Anyway, that's just me being me. Anyway, next one is issue 419. Not only does it have this cool Neil Adams cover, but it's the key because it's the first appearance of the Human Target, who was in the book for a little while. We then have issue 421, which is the first appearance of Captain Strong and Sancha, which is his spinach, because he's basically a Popeye ripoff. Fun character, but it's Popeye, and Sancha looks exactly like spinach, only it's a seaweed. The next one the Key Collector lists is number 432, which is the first appearance of Jack Nimball as the Toyman, which is the Toyman from the Superman Friends cartoon. If you remember when they had the Legion of Doom. It's also the last appearance of the Human Target, I believe. Don't quote me on that because it's not listed, but I'm pretty sure it is. Next up is Action Comics 440. And this is a big one because it is a key because this is the first time the art on Green Arrow was done by Mike Grell. Green Arrow was the backup feature for this one. Action Comics 456. It's listed as a key because apparently it's the final, apart from the fact it's the final 25-cent issue. This came out just after Jaws was in the theaters, and it's a bit of an homage to Jaws. And apparently it's a popular cover as a result. Next up, for Action 458, the first appearance of BlackRock. Then we have Action Comics 468, which is the first use of the DC bullet. Before this, they had that. If you look at the other one, they had this DC logo at the top here. Well, as of this issue, a DC bullet is in. And apparently, I think this was came out, and then the week after, all the books had the bullet. I'd have to look that one up. I actually was trying to find it and didn't see it, so I'm still looking. 471, the first appearance of Ferora Huel, which is the first female that was identified as a Phantom Zone villain, and who the character of Ursa from the movie was created by, as a tribute to. Ursa was made because Ferora cannot stand men at all, and Ursa at least likes General Zod. So 481 is next, and this is the first appearance of the Superman mobile, which was a really cool toy, and I really, really wanted one, but it was too expensive, so I was never able to save for one because I was buying comic books. Who knew? And my parents, even though I asked for it for Christmas, I never got one. They claim it's because they couldn't find one, which is possible because it was a cool toy. But I digress. Next up, we have Action Comics 484, which is the marriage of Earth 2 Superman and Lois Lane. Also, this is one of the first covers by Superman covers by Jose Luis Garcia Lopez, who ended up being the artist that did the definite Superman when it came to advertising and such. He actually replaced Kurt Swan doing that. So it was his Superman that was used in advertisements. And honestly, Garcia Lopez doesn't get the love that he deserves. He's done a lot of, although he did mostly cover work, he did series like Super Friends and all that other stuff. And he was usually like with that cover, for example, he's usually paired with Dick Giordano on inks, and they make a great pair. They made a very good pair. Next up, we have Action Comics 485, which is Neil Adams' homage, a Neil Adams homage to his own cover on Superman 233, which of course is another key. And this book is only a key because of the cover, but Neil Adams did his own inking on this as well. And note the signature right there, if there was any doubt. The next one is Superman 487. Sorry, Action 487, which is the first appearance of Microwave Man, who actually was a little bit of a villain that was used for in this era. He was around for about 3 to 5 issues. For that era, there was a lot of one and done video villains, but like Microwave Man, Terra Man, and BlackRock were around, excuse me, for a little bit. That's why their first appearances actually make sense. Terra Man's first appearance, though, was in Superman. Next up, we have Action Comics 500, and it's a cover I really love, and I think you can figure out why. This is just a key because it's a 68-page anniversary issue. This is from October 79, so we're almost to the point where we're in the 1980s as well. This was when Superman was all the rage because Superman the movie had come out. Superman 2 was coming out, early in 1980, I think in the summer of 80. So it was considered to be awesome and huge. The next one is issue 506, which is a key because this is the book that Christopher Reeve was reading when he made an appearance on The Muppet Show in February 1980. I know I saw it, but I can't remember how it was. And it's just cool that somebody had the eagle eye to notice that. And Key Collector is also picked up on it. It's actually worth a couple bucks. There's another one that if you're looking for a undervalued key, right here. Issue 513 is the first appearance of Hive as an organization. It was mentioned by some of its agents, but this is the first appearance of Hive as an organization. And we all know Hive ends up being a thorn in the side of the Teen Titans, especially. And Hive was used on Arrow in the Arrowverse with Damien Dark. So I'm surprised this isn't bigger than it is, but it is a key first appearance that a lot of people don't know about. Next up, Action Comics 521, which is the first appearance of Vixen. Followed by Action 544, which is the first appearance of Luthor's suit and the first appearance of the new Brainiac, when Brainiac became this organic computer as opposed to just being himself. Honestly, I preferred the old Brainiac. The new Brainiac just wasn't. One, Gil Kane did most of the art on it, and I didn't like his design. And second of all, I just thought that the character was better when it was the green skinned alien. Okay. Next up, issue 572. And this is a key because the backup story in here is the first professional published work by Mark Waid. Mark Waid, of course, has moved on to become a huge, reasonably huge writer in the industry, but he got his start right here in terms of professional work. Action Comics 572. Another key that is undervalued because I don't think people know about that book. Next up, Action 583, which is the second part of the Whatever Happened to the Man of Tomorrow series by Alan Moore and Kurt Swan, George Perez. That ends the pre-crisis era. We are now past Crisis on Infinite Earths. The next key is Action Comics 592, the first appearance of Sleaze. There he is right there. Followed by Action Comics 593, which has a controversial story. That's what the key is. Because it's Mac and Ziri Superman and Barda make a Korn movie. Now, they were mind controlled when they did it. But thank you very much, Mr. Sleaze. But still, they made the movie. Next up, Action Comics 595, which is the first appearance of the Silver Banshee. This one is becoming more and more known and has picked up a bit of traction. It is now at least a $10 book, and at 3 of the 5 sources that I checked. And Key Collector still has it at $4 in the bottom, but it has it at like $10 at the top. So at least when I looked, it could have changed, and I could be remembering wrong. Next up, Action Comics 598, the first team appearance of Checkmate, Well, again, similar to Hive, you saw individual members of Checkmate, and Checkmate has been mentioned, but this is the first time you actually have the team together. Next up, Action Comics 600, and again, it's just a key because it's an 80-page giant anniversary issue. Bunch of pretty cool stories here in it, similar to Superman 400, where they have a bunch of little things, and they even use the old, if you look at it, the old 80-page giant format. This one is a fun little read if you want to have something where you just can kick back for an hour and have some relaxation. The last four books I'm going to show are all from the Action Comics Weekly part. Action Comics Weekly was from issue 601 to 642 when they decided the weekly format wasn't working. If you recall, if you're a Marvel fan, you'll recall at the same time there was a weekly comics called Marvel Comics Presents that starred Wolverine. That one was a little more successful than this one, but of course, Marvel Comics Presents also went monthly after a little while. So the first one is 601. This is a key because it's the first appearance of the second team of the Secret Six. It has the death of Katuma Tui and Mockingbird's ID is revealed in the Secret Six. He was a secret. No one knew who he was the whole time the Secret Six original series was on. So this was a big deal if you were a fan of teams like the Secret Six and the Challengers on the Unknown, and the Suicide Squad before it became the Suicide Squad that we're familiar with today. 602. This is a key because it's the first cover since Action Comics 19, all the way back in 1939, 1940. I think it was late 39. Not to have Superman or a Superman family character on the cover. This is, of course, Green Lantern. Green Lantern had an interesting story to start the Action Comics Weekly run. So that was a big key because Action Comics 19 had had no Superman on it as well. So issue 20 of Superman was when they said that's it, Superman needs to be on every cover to ensure that kids knew that it was the Superman book. And shortly thereafter, they made the same decision with Batman on Detective, and the rest is history. Issue 636 is the first appearance of the second Phantom Lady, who is a character by the name of Dee Tyler. Now, she looks like the 1980s aerobics instructor, but wait till you get into further issues. She looks really good. Finally, the last one that was listed as a key and key collector is this one, Action Comics 640. Now, the reason this is a key is because in the Wild Dog story, there are some certain slurs on protest signs that are considered very unacceptable today. But people who like collecting controversial stuff are always looking for this book. This book is worth about $5 right now, but it has fluctuated over the years. At one point, it was worth almost $20. I think about 3 or 4 years ago. When I picked it up, I got it out of a dollar bin and I looked it up not long after that and went, oh, there's a nice little find. However, as I said, the price has come down in the last few years, but it was still a bargain, so to speak, from that. Those are the Action Comics keys from issues 400 to 642. 643 was when Action Comics went back to monthly and became part of the regular post-crisis Superman stories, and George Perez did the cover of that one. And I may do the same thing with books 643 to 714 at some point, because or sorry, not 714, 914, because there's not as many keys after 642, depending. I enjoy doing these type of videos where I just get to do quick notes and show the covers, because the covers I know and the books are why everybody comes to see me. If you like what I've done, please like, comment, and subscribe below. Comment if you plan on getting any of the books. Comment if you have any of the books. Comment if you didn't like the books. I don't care. Comment if you're sharing a recipe for marshmallows. I don't care. Just comment, like, and subscribe below. I really would appreciate it. I'm also going to take a moment to talk about the CBCA, or the Comic Book Community Awards. I'm I'm looking to be nominated in the 40999 category for most informative videos. So if you haven't already sent in your choices for nominations there, check out the CBCA website, which I will put a link to below, and fill them out. Go with your conscience, but know that I'm here. Also, please sign for the Monday special on the Comic Collector Geek. We are trying to actively get Stephen Gentner, who is a big comic book guy. We want him to win. Even though he's on Alan's channel, Comic Collector Geek, we want Stephen to win. That's the Monday special on the Comic Collector Geek channel. Thank you very much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. My name is Matt. I like comics, and I hope you do too. Bye, everyone.